How you doing, everybody? Got something a little bit different for you today. I have a battery review, and this is a Awanfi. I hope I said that right. Awanfi 7.4 volt 2-cell 1500 milliamp 45C battery, and I have not opened the box because I want you to see me do this. It's really not an unboxing. I'm doing this so you see it's as the state that I received it in. Bought it from Amazon, took 1 day to get here. And we're going to check some things about this, and we're going to see what it looks like right out of the box. This is a smallish battery. Use it for a number of different things, smaller RC cars, maybe some smaller boats, but you can probably see in the picture there's a small drone here, which I plan on flying it in, if it fits. It is a Bugs3 Mini, is what that is. So, anyway, in here, nothing else in the box. We'll set that aside, and let's get this out. Package pretty good. Never seen one come in one of these bags before. And that's all there is in the bag. And it says 7.4 volt, 45C, 1500 milliamp. Should have a Dean's connector on it as well. A little paperwork. And they did ship a battery strap, I see. Alright, there it is. As you see it right out of the box, right from Amazon. So let's take this off, the battery strap. Some may have a use for this. I don't know, maybe I'll have a use for it in that if it doesn't fit in the slot. But anyways, when people go out looking for batteries, you know, one of their biggest questions is, does it fit? So Awanfi does list their measurements, and it's showing that it should be 2.95 inches or 75 millimeters. And I know you're not going to be able to read that, but I do. I have 75 millimeters long. 35 millimeters wide, which is what they advertise, and 18 millimeters tall, and I have 17 millimeters tall. So, so it is as advertised on the site. But let's see real quick if this is going to fit. And it fits. I can get that in there. Look at that. Alright, one of the battery packs that, well, it's a tight fit, but that's okay. One of the battery packs that I do use in this, I'm not going to do any kind of compare or anything like that. It's not what this video is about. It's a couple of hundred milliamps smaller than that. The battery that comes with it is 1,000 milliamps, and this is probably going to weigh a lot more than that 1,000 milliamp, and it is going to affect the way that this flies a little bit. But the upgraded battery that I've been using in it, it does really well on that. So unfortunately, I don't have a scale here, so I can't tell you what this weighs. So anyways, all right, it does fit, so it's a possibility to use that on my little drone. And today it is raining out. Maybe it will clear up a little bit and I can do the last half of the test, but this is going to be just right here, right in front of the camera and doing a couple of things. Okay, so one of the things that I like to do with my batteries right out of the box, and I wanted you to see me take it out of the box, is I am going to check the cells right away, right out of the box. They should be, each cell should be about 3.8 to 3.85 is where each cell should be. And I'm hoping you're going to be able to see the screen. If not, I'm just going to have to read it to you. Okay, cell 1 is at 3.858. Cell 2 is at 3.852. So both cells are right where they should be. That's a storage mode capacity, meaning you can let this sit here in this state for as long as you want and you will not hurt the battery. It's right at 50%. And there's cell 1 again. That's showing at 52%. But the point is that both cells are at 3.85, which is your storage voltage. If you're not going to use your batteries for, longer than 3 or 4 days, they should be stored at this state. And each cell should be 3.8 or 3.85. Don't store them fully charged. Don't store them fully discharged. This is a storage charge, and they can sit for years at this voltage, and the battery will be completely happy with that. So the other thing that we're going to test here is we're going to test the internal resistance of each cell. Okay, IR, internal resistance, and I'm going to push this button and it's going to start. Okay, we have one cell. The first cell is at 010, the second cell is at 008. That's excellent. I have some batteries that are in there that are really marginal that I really should get rid of them. They're in the hundreds on this scale right here. And for each cell to be as low as what it is, this is a good battery pack right here. There are a couple of manufacturers that, well, everybody likes their certain kind of batteries. Everybody swears by them, but it's all a personal experience and what you get. And there have been some name brand batteries that I got. As a matter of fact, the batteries that I was using in this, I ordered 3 of them. Well, I had to send one of them back because I did this check as soon as it came out of the box, and I had one of the cells was bad. It had no voltage at all. It wasn't even it's supposed to be 3.8, 3.85 as storage voltage. There was 0 in it. So I had to send one back. Made another order for a boat that I have, same company. I ordered 2 of them. And one of them I had to send back because, again, it had a bad cell. This battery, this is in really good shape. This is perfect. This is exactly how you should receive it. The specs on it are exactly as what's advertised on it so far. And good gauge wire. I don't know if you can see this, but for a small 2-cell like this, what is this? This is probably 12 gauge. This is probably 12 gauge wire. That's a good size for that. Nice balanced lead here. So good battery so far. So what we'll do is we'll take this off of here. We'll just plug it in again. Hopefully, like I said, you can see that. There's the first cell. First cell is at 3.85. Second cell, 3.85. We're going to do the internal resistance again. IR, internal resistance. Alright, this time is 004 and 012. Still close. I mean, it was 008 and 010. Not going to stress that. So, good battery right out of the box. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it on my charger. And I'm going to move the camera a little bit here so you can see my charger. Matter of fact, why don't I just put this on my head? There we go. This is a hat cam. I use it for all my videos. Hopefully you can see it. And pardon my mess over here on this side, but I am going to plug in my charger. And this is a Venom Pro Duo charger. This thing is an excellent charger. If you don't have a good charger, then you're really missing out. So, okay, so we're going to put it on channel 2, which is going to be this side. I'll plug this in. Plug the balance lead in. Okay. Put this right here. And okay, we're going to go over here. So we need Lipo balance charge is what we need. So we press it. It's at 5.2 amps. Well, obviously that's wrong. It's 1500 milliamps, so we're going to charge this at 1.5 amps. So we need to move this down. I don't know if you can see that. Move that up to 1.5. 7.4 2-cell, which is exactly what that is. Alright, and press charge. No problem. Kicked right off. Alright. We're in Lipo 2S balanced charging, 1.5 amps. That's how much voltage total. And we're going to look at each cell. 3.89 and 3.89. So we're going to let this charge, and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to show you this screen again to show you how much milliamps that the battery took and how long it took to do it. So until then, we'll be back, and maybe if it stops raining, we'll be able to get a flight on this and really test the battery under the circumstances. So we will see you in a bit. Alright folks, we're back. The battery charger just turned off. I'm going to get close to this, and I'm hoping you can read this. And I know it might be a little blurry. What we're looking at is in the bottom row, in the middle, and on the right. It took 32 minutes 43 seconds to charge to full, and lower right says 632. That's the number of milliamps that the battery took. So it's a 1500 milliamp pack. It was roughly 50% full right out of the box. So we're almost halfway. So you know, some of that I attribute to my my cheap checker that I have. You know, this thing was like $8 or something like that. But it suits the purpose, and it does everything that I want. It tests different battery chemistries too. So, all right, I'm going to put this on top of my head, and we're going to grab the battery. And it is cleared up outside, so we're going to get to fly. So, but before I do this, I want to explain to you what's going to be going on. Number one, we're going to be timing it. I have my stopwatch. Number two, the Bugs3 Mini has telemetry. What that means is that the internal low voltage on this is set to about 3.8 volts. That's when this is going to start beeping and this is going to start beeping. And I apologize ahead of time that you know, like halfway through this flight, this transmitter is going to start beeping and it's not going to stop. So there's no way for me to stop it. We're just going to have to put up with it for this. So basically, when this starts beeping, you know, they're saying, okay, that's low voltage, you should land. Well, in my experience with this, it's about 3.8 volts. And basically what it does is it doesn't force itself to land. But what it does do is it prevents it from doing any stunts, any flips. Because this has two modes. It has stability mode and it has acro mode. And we're going to be flying in stability mode. And in stability mode, if I push one of these buttons here and flick this, I can do flips and rolls and stuff with it. As soon as it hits LVC, it stops doing that. Still performs great and all that. Okay, one additional thing that I do. This is a voltage alarm. We're going to hook this up to it. The voltage alarm, I have this set at 3.6 volts. Generally when I'm flying, when this goes off at 3.6 volts, it'll go off for a few seconds and then the cells will stabilize and it will shut off. When it goes off the second time is usually when I land. I don't like to run my batteries down below 3.6 volts. It's just something personal that I do. I like the health of my batteries. So, but for this flight, because I'm expecting probably a 10-minute flight here. So, and we're going to film the whole thing. And so when it goes off the first time at 3.6 is when we're going to land, and I'm going to check the time and see where we're at. So. The only concern that I have is I weighed this battery compared to the other upgraded batteries that I use it, and I can feel a weight difference. So this is a really small quad. It is a very strong quad. It does really well. It can be really fast. But now it's got to pull around the extra weight. So extra weight means extra power. Extra power means reduced flight time. So I really won't hold that against it. So let's get this hooked up. All right, and you're probably not going to be able to see that either. 8.36. Yep, 4.18. Okay, so all of that's good. So we're going to take this and we're going to put it in here. did get this in here before. There we go. It is a tight fit. So I'm going to take this, get a little Velcro onto the side. I'll flip this on, and we're going to plug it in. Okay, let's see. Make sure these wires are out of the way. That should be pretty good. It's going to be a little off balance with all these thick wires and everything, but I've flown it like that before. So we're going to take our timer, and I hit the camera, and let's take it outside and take it for a flight. I have a little bit of an area here to fly, and I apologize for the drone being so small. So you're probably going to lose sight of it, but can't be helped. So, all right, we're going to fire it up. And I got the stopwatch going, and here we go. Seems to be flying really good. Not much of a punch because there's a lot of weight. Usually what I do is I walk down here, get my back to the strongest part of the sun, even though it's kind of cloudy. If you notice, this is not a hover test. I cannot stand when somebody says, oh, I got 20 minutes out of a battery pack, and I go and I watch the video, and all they're doing is hovering in front of their face. That is not a good description or a good example of a flight time. Unless you're, really learning, nobody flies like that. And you're just exaggerating the numbers. Seems to be flying good with that extra weight. Sorry, that was right in the sun. Pretty good whip, flips. Right in front of me. Doing really good for the weight of that battery, I'll tell you. We'll have to get out of the way of that one. Like I said, I'm going to take into consideration the amount of work that this little drone is doing to fly itself with that much weight. It is it's going to reduce the flight time a little bit because the motors are working so hard to keep itself up because the weight is a lot more than what it's designed for. But This is a great quad. I love flying this little guy. A neighbor leaving, so I have to be aware of them driving down the street. They're going to drive right in front of me. We'll be nice and not chase them down the street. They love to watch me fly, by the way. They never complain when I fly over their house or crash into their bushes. I don't know where we're at on time, but if I can get close enough, I can see what that says. Alright, the voltage alarm is showing 3.7. So that's the little digital readout I have on the side. So it's a 3.7 right now. Woo! Almost put it in the bushes. I don't know if you saw that. I spun around pretty fast. That would have been fun. I'm surprised the low voltage on the ESC hasn't gone off. On the drone, telemetry making my transmitter beep, but we'll wait for it. We'll see what comes first. Bring it back over, see if I can read it. .67 is what that said. And that's under load. So if I stop and I land, I bet that'll come way up to like 375 or even maybe a little higher. So that's a load while it's flying on what's in the cell at that point. So it's a great flying drone. Man, if you're into drones, this is one to get. And this is in stability mode. If I put it in acro mode, I almost can't fly it. It is just so quick and fast. Getting a good flight. I don't know how long it's been, but I'm afraid to look. I'll look when it goes off. I just had to give it full throttle to pull out of that right there. And let's see, we're at 3.63 under load. Still nothing out of the telemetry. I'm surprised. My transmitter is not beeping. I hope you can see some of this flying. Oh, all right, there it is. There's my transmitter beeping. Right over our head. Now, I'm just going to wait for the low voltage meter to go off, and then we're going to land. There it is. Alright, so that's 3.6 volts. Now if I stop here a little bit, it should shut off. No, it's being pretty persistent. It's below 3.6 volts, and this is where I'd like to land. So let's land it. Okay, we're going to look. 10 minutes, 53 seconds. I don't know if you can see that. We'll stop it right there. I stopped at 10:58, but I saw it at 10:53. So that was 11 minutes on its first run. Let's unplug all this. Shut this off. We'll take it back in. Now, we're going to look. Now that it's shut off, alright, now each cell is at 3.70 is where it's at. So, taking it off a load, the cells equalize a little bit, they come up in voltage a little bit. 3.7, you know what? And that's a perfect place to stop. Don't want to run the batteries down too much. If you run the batteries down too much, all you're doing is damaging them, you're hurting them. Over time, you're not going to get good run times out of whatever vehicle that you use this in. They're going to start puffing. You're going to have all kinds of issues with it. And I have batteries in my boxes over here. They're several years old. So, but there it is. That is the Awanfi 2S 1500 milliamp 45C battery. I give it a very hearty thumbs up. Great battery right out of the box. 11-minute flight time on this little drone, carrying all that extra weight, making those motors work really hard to carry around this battery pack, and I still get over 10 minutes. Excellent battery. I recommend it. Hope you enjoyed. Take care.